Here is the pen collection. I'd like to find the flamingo pen to put next to Bally's and a Cromwell, and I'm missing some. 162.5. I have been stalling all morning and procrastinating. I think part of the reason I don't want to do these workouts is because the weather is so hot. If it was like 70 degrees out there, I'd be more than willing to want to go out there. But what must be done, must be done. So I'm sure by this time you guys are bored of all the Ironman training stuff on this Las Vegas vlog, so I didn't really record any of it this day. So yeah, I was doing a triple, so a swim, bike, and a run. So I didn't head back to Pavilion Center in Summerlin after those guys kicked me out of their pool on Tuesday. So I went back to Henderson, drove by the closed Fiesta, and back to the Henderson Aquatic Complex that I went to on the Friday and did my swim. And so the swim is fine, but the bike ride I rode out on the Union Pacific Trail, like there's a trail that runs parallel to the railroad, and I went all the way to Railroad Pass. And I'm really glad I didn't get a flat tire or anything because I was in the middle of nowhere. But anyway, I finished the workout and I was tired. It was so hot. It was so hot. I did my run, which was only 6 miles, about an hour around the aquatic center, and they had like an outdoor water playground that saved me. Otherwise, I probably would have melted to death, but I was just so hot. Longest 6 mile run of my life. Like, I'm training for a marathon right now, and I do 6 mile runs all the time, and they're easy, especially when it's not hot. But when it's 110 degrees, air temperature, not surface temperature even higher, wow. So anyway, I headed to Juan's Flaming Fajitas, which is my favorite Mexican restaurant in Las Vegas. I've made plenty of videos about it on this channel. You can look them up. I didn't really eat that much. I wasn't that hungry. They had the best queso, by the way. That white queso is amazing. But I only got some nachos and quesadillas and the queso, and that was really it. Like I said, I was so hot I wasn't that hungry. And then afterwards, I headed back to get ready to do downtown, but I checked my old apartment in Las Vegas first, over there in Summerlin. Just drove by it. All right, it is time for my once annual trip to Fremont Street, otherwise known as downtown Las Vegas. So I was ready to go downtown, which, like I've said in past videos, I only go to downtown like once a year in Las Vegas because it's just not my scene. I'm not really into the whole downtown scene, but I go once a year anyway, just for the hell of it, mainly to play video poker at Four Queens because they have some of the best video poker payout tables in all of Las Vegas. And also I was going to play slots as well. So 2 casino gambling adventures that I was heading downtown for. But first, I made a quick stop at a frozen custard place called Love It Frozen Custard. It's not in the best part of town, and you'll see why. There it is. You can see it outside my window, but the parking lot of this place is just full of bums. Like, it was bums central. You'll see me just circling the parking lot trying to just avoid. It was like Night of the Living Zombies or something, just with bums everywhere. I could not find a place to park. See, you can just see them all over the place. It would have been so much more funny if I had the audio here. Like, I just could not find, like, that Suburban was taking up 3 spots, and I was like, well, I'm not going to park in front of this drugstore where there's people, like, just loitering, just bums everywhere. And that's the thing, like, in Las Vegas, I've lived there twice, and I just never remember it being this bad in terms of just bums everywhere. Like, they were just in my way. Like, I'm just trying to get around the parking lot. It was, like I said, it was like an infestation, but finally a spot opened up and I parked there to get myself some frozen custard. I mean, this frozen custard is good, but I don't know if it's worth having to deal with the bums. Like, this guy was talking to me about the bums as well. And anyway, I ordered, like, I don't know, like peanut butter and hot fudge, or, my typical frozen custard order. It's good, but like, I was so paranoid about just being hit up by money with all the bums and everything. So not in a good part of town, but it's on the way to downtown, which is why I went. The custard itself is very thick. That spoon sometimes isn't enough to get it out. Sometimes it will break, which has happened to me before, but not this time. But anyway, just bums everywhere. And so after that, I left BUMS Central and went to downtown. Same rules that I've used in video poker in the past. I put $50 in the machine and I walk when either double it or lose it all. And then I was going to play slots after that. And slots, I think I put $100 into the machine, and I was going to spin it exactly 100 times. And whatever money I have left after 100 spins is what I would walk away with. So I always park in the parking garage by Binion's. It's gotten more expensive though. It used to be only $2 for 2 hours, but now it's like $6 for 1 hour, something stupid like that. But it's still cheaper than the garage next to Circa, which is like $16 for 3 hours or something ridiculous like that. But anyway, I'm explaining my rules of how I'm going to gamble the final 2 casino games I was going to play on the trip. And I was also talking about how I've never really been to downtown when the sun was still out. I think this is the first time I've ever been downtown while there's still daylight, except when I got out of jail. When I got out of jail, the sun was still up. But this is the first time I've ever actually voluntarily gone downtown, because I got thrown in jail when the sun was up and let go when the sun was up. But anyway, I've never really seen it during the daytime, but really not that different, just a different vibe. Not as much of a festive vibe as you would get going at night. But anyway, I headed into Four Queens to find the 9-6 video poker payout tables. They have a sign in this row of machines, but not all of them are 9-6. So I had to go machine by machine until I finally found it to find the 9-6 table. Put a $50 bill in, and I let it go. So how did I do? Well, let's just say that usually when I play video poker, there's always at some point where I'm up, like where I have more money than I put in. But I was never up at all during this video. I was down from the beginning and just down, and then I lost all my money, the $50. So I think that's the 3rd year in a row. I only play video poker once a year, so that's the 3rd year in a row I've walked without winning money. And then I headed over to the Fremont. I don't know why I picked Fremont, probably just because it was close. And I sat down at a big Wheel of Fortune slot machine. So the rule of slot machines, if you have a big slot machine like that Wheel of Fortune one right there, it's probably not going to pay out very much. Basically, the more fancy and high tech it is, the less it's going to pay out. But I was like, I'll just spin it 100 times and see what I walk with, right? And so that was my first spin, a loser. And that's pretty much how it went, just like with video poker. So I did get to spin the machine. I did get to spin the wheel once. On my like 40th spin or something like that. And I forgot how many credits I won, but it's always exciting when you spin the wheel. That's why you play a slot machine like this. Everybody stops to see how much you're going to win. This is how you hit the jackpot. But I only won 100 credits or something like that. And here's the deal. I didn't even get to spin 100 times. I think I spun 93 times, and I lost. I think I might have had like 3 or 4 total hits where I even won something at all. But like video poker, I was down from the beginning, didn't win anything at all, so I lost my $100. So down $150, 2 unsuccessful gambling ventures that pretty much canceled out the successful blackjack and craps I had the day before. And then I got out of downtown. So here's the deal. The reason I went so early is because I had a long bike ride the next morning, longer than the one I did on Saturday. Plus a longer run than I did on Saturday, so I wanted to get to bed early. So I probably should have explained why I went so early while the sun was still up. But yeah, I wanted to get to bed early, get some sleep, especially after the 2 triples I had done back to back. I was tired, I was wiped out and exhausted, and headed back to the Palms with some nice looking sunset and everything. But I really wanted to get to bed early, which I'll do more explaining of here when I head up after the obligatory elevator shot. I'd really like to stay up late, but I haven't really been able to do that on this trip because I have to keep getting up early for Ironman training. But the earlier I can get up tomorrow, the better. Get as much done as possible before the sun comes up. Like, they're having record heat this week. Like, I know it's always hot here in Las Vegas, but like they've been saying on the radio, like the temperatures are going to be like 110, which is way hotter than average. So if I can get a lot of training done tomorrow before the sun comes up, that'll be awesome. And the earlier the better, because I have somewhere to be at 1:15 tomorrow, and I don't want to have to be rushing myself. I'd like to be able to, I want to take my time to get there. But if you want to know where I'm going to be at 1:15, you're going to have to tune into tomorrow's video for Thursday. But that about wraps it up for today, Wednesday. College football season officially starts tomorrow. I don't ever consider week 0 to be the real start. It's always the opening Thursday night. And if I'm going to leave this trip a winner, which I haven't done since 2015, so it's been 7 years since I've left Las Vegas a winner when it comes to visiting in late August, early September for college football kickoff, I'm going to have to do it via college football betting wins. Well, that wraps it up for today, Wednesday, August 31st. I'll see you in September.